Hello, diecast car and race fans, and welcome to the channel. It's all about racing. Today we're going to take a look at a rather unique Porsche 911 RSR with the Brumos livery. Folks, this is how the car comes packaged. This is an IXO 143 scale 911 RSR Porsche. The number 911 is made by IXO. It comes in what is supposed to be a limited edition series, but I don't see anything on this car or on the box other than the fact that it says limited edition series to indicate that this is actually one of those, and I've discussed this in a previous video. I mean, there's nothing on the box, there's no markings on the car to indicate that this is a limited edition car, but nevertheless, this is a spectacular looking IXO car, which I picked up for 50 bucks at a racetrack. Actually, I got this in March, just a few weeks ago, at Sebring. And I'll tell you, these new IXO cars that are coming out, and we're going to look at it in a moment, are getting close to Spark quality. And I'll tell you, that's saying something for IXO because they're about half the price of a Spark. Like I say, I got this car for about 50 bucks. If you tried to get this Spark car, it'd cost you $85 or $90. First off, let's talk a little bit about Brumos and why this car is so special. This car livery was developed in 2019 in a tribute to Brumos Racing, which was a Florida-based team that actually won the Rolex 24-hour races 4 times, the last in 2009. This special livery was supposed to run in the Rolex 24, the Sebring, the Le Mans race, and the Watkins Glen. In fact, you see the smaller car here, the number 93, which I have in 164 scale. That was one of the cars that raced in Le Mans. But we're going to focus on the 143 scale car here for today's discussion. What makes this really unique is the Brumos team cars were white, just as you see this 911 RXR here. They had blue and red stripes going from the hood all the way to the back of the car, as you have here. And the car was numbered number 59. And if you take a close look at this car, and we will do just that, and this is quite frankly easier to see in 143 scale than it is in 164 scale, you can see the number 59 in various patterns all along this car, which I think is really pretty neat. See, 59, 59, red and blue, and it runs all the way from the nose all the way to the tail. Well, let's just take a nice good look at this car from the top, as you're looking at it like a helicopter view. Then we'll go back to the side because there are some interesting touches on this car. The 911 car is unique in that, to distinguish it from its sister car, the 912, which I have ordered and will be getting probably in a couple weeks, by the blue stripe along the rocker panel. You see that blue stripe right there along the rocker panel? That and the fact that the windshield banner is white and the rear wing, and we'll just keep it this way, is white as well. The number 912 car has a red stripe along the rocker panel. The windshield banner is black, and the rear wing is also black. On this car, also note, we'll take a look at the rear here in just a second, you have blue accents along the rear diffuser. That is how you can distinguish the 911 car from the 9112 other than the number. And folks, when I tell you, that these IXO cars are getting close to Spark quality, I really do mean this. I mean, this is just an exceptional model. It's beautiful. The scale is perfect. All the details, that usually were reserved for Spark models, like wheels with brake rotors and calipers, to decaling excellence, to antennas that abound on this particular car. You look at the front. You've got a very, very nicely and beautifully done front spoiler. It doesn't have carbon fiber accents, but I've never seen this car personally myself, and I don't have any pictures of it, and I don't know that it did either. But you do have a front tow hook on here. You can see, they've got a nicely windshield wiper on there. the fuel intake valve, which on this case is on the driver's side, you see as well. The interior of these cars is gorgeous. And if you've seen my video where I actually broke an Aston Martin that was an IXO model, I was astounded at how good the interior details were in that particular car. But with this, you can see the seat, you can see the net, you see the steering wheel, the paddle shifters. They've got the LED leader light number on there. This particular car was piloted by Patrick Pillay, Nick Tandy, and Fred Makowicki. And I'll tell you, this was a professional factory Porsche 911 RSR run by Porsche. And this is because this is an RSR, this is a mid-engine Porsche, not the rear-engine GT3 that you commonly see. And they did this because largely for aerodynamic purposes, they had to have a huge rear diffuser that you can see on this car. And if you notice on the side of the car, they cut out a lot of the rear fender. You see that big gap between the fender and the rear of the car? They did that to accommodate this massive diffuser. This particular car does have a rear exhaust. Some of the RSRs have side exhausts, and I'll show you the models that I have that have those in another video. But anyhow, this particular car, as I mentioned, was in the GTLM class, what they call GT Le Mans. These were the fastest cars that raced in the IMSA series, and most all of them were factory teams, as was this one. I just absolutely love this red and blue livery, the stripes that run down the side, the number 59 that runs from head to tail on it, the blue accents, as you can see on the rear diffuser, and again, I'll emphasize the blue stripe, which you can see right there on that rocker panel. And when I get the 912 car, which I said I should have in a couple weeks, we'll review that and this car together so you can see the differences in them. But let me tell you, folks, that is an absolutely beautiful car. This is done in 143 scale. You know, I like 143 scale because you get the details almost of a 118 car for about half the price. Granted, the car is smaller, but it's large enough that you can incorporate all these details that you just can't get in a 164 scale. And to show you an example, here is a 164 scale Sparky model made by Spark, actually, and you know it's a good model. You know, it shows all the important things about this particular car. You know, it doesn't have antennas, doesn't have tow hooks, and you know the rear diffuser on the back of it, because of the size of the car, is rather small. And again, you know, not big on details. I'm gonna take a look at it there, Chapard. I mean, you know, it's okay. It's just not a great representation of the car. There's a better look at it. But this is why I collect 143 over 164 scale. Not to mention that your choices in 143 scale are much wider and vast than it is in 164 scale. And that's because more people collect 143s than they do 164s. So, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching.